Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another cast series of the Trash Can League. This is the 8th round today between Daddy Sheckler and Risotto. Game 1 will be played onto Can. We see Sheckler playing, I would say his main squeeze, Dutch. I know that he plays a lot of Dutch and Lakota, that's his two main go-to civs, but I have really been impressed by the level of his Dutch play, and I think the Can is going to be a map where he can really showcase his ability for us with the Dutch civilization. His opponent is going to be Risotto, instantly dropping down Age 1 Mosque, looking for a trading post here. He's gone for the train line of the two train posts, which I think is going to work out very well. I think Risotto is very aware that this is unable to be taken from his point of view due to the town centre radius, I think. So he's going for the northern side here. And I'm kind of expecting here from Risotto as well to kind of go for like a very boomy game himself. Maybe going for the build. I tell you what is absolutely insane here. I'm not too sure because these crates are Mother Nature. Just imagine something along the lines of silk trade here for Risotto. Just an idea. He does actually have silk trade here, so he's actually leaving his own crates here. So this is interesting. I think Risotto's actually planned this. This villager here is going to shift click his way around all these crates, and we'll go on to the others. I want to see this, but certainly the silk trade will boost the XP income here from the trading post as well. It won't boost the mosque, and maybe here going for the mosque as well was a bit of an over not statement, just not needed. But I suppose the remaining wood crates here, 60, 40, 20, even plus the extra 25 you'll get here, so it's going to be in the thick end of 195. We'll have enough wood here for the second trading post, so it's actually going to work really well. So I'm really happy to see that Risotto's got a build order idea here, leaving a free 50 coin treasure here for Sheckler. Oh, Daddy Sheckler enjoying the 350 coin. He's going to say thank you very much. But yes, these are now extra wood crates here, so it's going to be 45, 65, and yeah, probably 65 there. These crates are Mother Nature's. They don't get buffed, which is slightly annoying, but you know, that would be very insane if all these crates were owned by Risotto and they all got buffed by Silk Trade. But there comes the next train post where the Explorer's going to go for, and yeah, that's the idea coming behind. Meanwhile, Sheckler aging up, 13 vills, 20 populations. He's gone for the 3... Daddy Rabbit's what he's called himself on this deck here. So he's gone for the 10 vills, sending 3, has enough coin behind this. I don't believe he's actually...
Yeah. Hello.
So yeah, so these vills have hunting dogs. I don't believe Sheckler has actually used the market to buy wood. I think it would be good if he has, but he's certainly getting a nice early bank down transition. 250 timing for the bank is absolutely insane. I know it's to can, but it just feels so good. He will have the coin behind to train his first villagers. And actually, life is looking pretty good here for Sheckler behind us. Another 50 coins going to help him just keep that villager production. And you know, the more coin he gets from the banks, the treasures, the more time you can let his villagers gather food instead. So you can actually just pull off these villagers from the coin mine and just mainly hunt. And he's going to do that right now. And Sheckler just shown a great awareness with his early game macro as Dutch. Absolutely fine. First card here, he's going bank wagon instead of 700. I think that makes sense. I think that's very smart of Sheckler because he's down a couple villagers, doesn't have all the food in the world to get us going down. He will get a bank wagon. Bank built from the woods here. It's just going to go stable 2 houses play versus Otto, which is interesting. It certainly will idle, but we know from Risotto's playstyle here in his card order, he went Silk Road into crates. These crates will be 875 resources, I believe, is the total amount of resources he will get. He aged up here to the age with the quartermaster, so he's going to go for another train post. I think actually that makes a lot of sense. Extra cords of wood means more train posts, which means more kind of buffed XP income, trading sites. So it's certainly very smart in that situation. A little bit surprised that these are not upgraded to stagecoach. I think that's a very affordable for Risotto, but looking at his kind of macro here, looks like he's trying to go for a fast age. So Philosopher's Prince versus Quartermaster. The Philosopher's Prince with the 625 food crates with the 700 coin behind, well, which is buffed up to 875, can get you a very, very fast FF time. And I know that, he's gonna have the TC wagon into the 1k wood, into the 1k coin, which would be 1.25. So many resources coming behind this, and it's going to give Risotto such a strong economy. There's the Egypt going to come in behind this, and the woods is going to provide him enough resources to drop 2 town centres, and then the town centre wagon behind will be enough to go for TC. And 5 Hussars do come in, but most of the eco here is in the crates. Villagers can just get into the town centre. I suppose all his villagers are here, so he will actually idle the entire economy, but I don't think Risotto will lose another ville behind this. That would be on the kind of careless side. Minutemen being called to push away, but actually manages to cancel at the last second, which is very nice. Explorer will go down here if actually Sheckler sees this. I don't think Sheckler, he probably did see it, but he wasn't paying attention. Hussars do have low line of sight though, so you've only briefly seen that Explorer for a very split second. Does get out of the way behind this. Envoy behind the base, so nice little placement here. I'm expecting the other town centres, one will be dropped on the... Well, yeah, one will be dropped here, because this is where the 4 berry bushes are. It's quite hard to see, actually, where the berry bushes are. You've got the gold mine up here, and it does have extra hunting opportunities down here. So that's what I'm expecting where these town centres are being dropped behind. No, Risotto went quartermaster age up 700 coins, 700 wood. Obviously, these are all buffed by the Silk Road, so a little bit slow on the age up due to the no Philosopher's Prince food crates in the age up, but not sending 700 food at all. Now that he's in the next age, though, he's sending in 1k. No, that's Risotto. Yeah, he's going to cover the wagon. Still has. Oh, he did go 700 food. But what's he going to spend the food on? That is interesting. That's caught me off a little bit surprised, but I think that's just the extra, all the extra XP from the Silk Road and the multiple train posts, just allowing him to get his extra shipment, which allows him to have the food to go for Stagecoach up here, allows him to train Jans from a defensive racks. He's building a 3rd town centre and 2nd town centre, and building the 3rd. I think this is basically Risotto saying, right, I want to have barracks and units and 3 town centres instead of 4 town centre max greed. So Risotto saying this looks rehearsed, but it was actually improvised. No, you must have at least had a look at how the map spawns and how Silk Road will affect your game. That town centre is actually close to going up. It is close to going up because the foundation is at the far stage, but it's low HP because I lost a lot. Jans into melee will push these Hussars back. The Hussars here from Sheckler are being annoying. Probably not as much damage as I think Sheckler hoped. Quickly look at his point of view. He's aging up behind this. He does have 4 bank stable play market. These guys are only hunting dogs, no steel traps just yet. He sends 700 coin to get the age up in. Yeah, not sending 600 wood here. I feel we don't need the 700 coin, especially. He did train units. I think he wants to prioritize this tempo play, and he wants to put the pressure on Otto. He knows that Otto here is the 3rd age. This town centre being built by the wagon. That town centre has now been complete, and Risotto really wants to send in that 1k wood shipment at some point. Been chopping quite a lot since the early crates of coin here. It's going to be nice for him to get the units out, but I think he really wants to try and get his mosque attacks behind a house or 2, artillery foundry, and that's when the coin would really be super useful to them just to kind of push through the Abus guns and Jans and the upgrades. But so far, just Jans upgrades. Still has a 4th town centre to build. He does have the opportunity to go 4th town centre. Does have that build limit thanks to sending the covered wagon card, which is until Risotto goes for the 4th town centre actually building it. Just the one covered wagon as a shipment on its own is not actually that great of a shipment. It's only when you get the extra build limit there to go for the 4th town centre it really stands out as a good shipment. I suppose for Ottomans, not training villas is just makes the town centre wagons just so much better than other civs. I kind of think in this kind of situation here, Sheckler, an early 2nd town centre here for the Dutch is also a decent move. Some will give it a bit of a wry eyebrow, but it's actually a lot of villagers here for Sheckler to train in his climb to 50. Doesn't actually have the coin cards in his Age 1 deck. I like to think the one bank card is, you have space for it. 3 Husk versus Otto. Do you really need 3 Husk versus Otto? And 1,000 food is not 1,000. Okay, having 1,000 food and 1,000 coin is not often what you see in Dutch decks. But I suppose 1,000 coin is like your pseudo artillery deck card, and your 1,000 food is my I'm going to mass hussar card. I'm gonna your secondary set of what is it? Yeah, production of hussars. Just suggesting that you'd rather go for a fully upgraded mosque than a 4th town centre. Either or. I mean, what's even better is 4 town centres with a semi-upgraded mosque. Maybe get the 2nd tier training. They're quite cheap. It's 50 wood, and 125 wood, I think, for the 2nd tier one. I think the final villagers training card is quite expensive. Might be 300 wood, might be around that area. Might be a little bit cheaper than that, but does significantly make villagers train much faster. So it's certainly worth keeping a consideration on them. And we do see Risotto sending in 6 Abus guns here. Okay, I think Risotto is aware that he's seen the siege on this train post, which did get pushed away and saved. But the Dutch player here is going basically mass Reuter Hussar, or just pure Reuter spam, which is a natural way to play versus Ottomans. It is very, very strong. There is that 4th town centre middle map. What a great position here for Risotto. Let's look at his line of sight. He does see basically 2/3 of the map here. He has his full side, northern side, and the central plateau under his full vision. So a lot of resources here as well for the Dutch player to really try and fight for and occupy himself, because he really wants the mine. He wants the hunt. And here we go. There's 3 falconets to provide the siege to take down this town centre. Risotto doesn't actually have CM in his deck, and with a 4 town centre play, it's certainly a consideration to have. Maybe actually having that instead of a spice trade would be a decent option. I don't think you would want to send CM at the moment, because his town centres are very spread out compared to some Ottoman players who like to play a very defensive, very tight-packed 4 town centre structure. Oh, this is brutal. Yeah, no, good point. There's no point having 4 town centres if you can't Oh, it's only 100 coin as well. It's either like 100 coin or 100 wood, 100 coin, or 200 coin. It's quite cheap, and yeah, that's a little bit of a bummer there. 4th town centre going down without training the villager at all, I think. And now with Sheckler with artillery pieces, given that the Ottoman boom hasn't really taken off, I actually feel that the Dutch player here is in a strong position. Always Abus guns, low HP, just mass Reuter spam here. Happy to take the volley fire from the Jans. Not actually going to scare him too much. And yeah, that's 4 Abus guns, and that's spread out fire. Nice Z move there working, and all the Abus guns going down. It's just Jan Reuter fights here, which the Jans do some great damage, but it's overall trades and kind of where the eco is at the moment. It's going to have to favour the Dutch player. Checking the ecos, it is 31 villagers, double trading posts. Don't really know why I went 2 TPs. 31 vills with 5 bank behind this. Let's look at his coin upgrades. No placer mines. He's got 24 villagers in the coin mines. Come on, Sheckler. Don't forget your upgrades. I even think if you're going like artillery Reuter, amalgamation is near must as well. 20% on your coin gathering is certainly very strong, even if you do have the no stagecoach. It's just 2 trading posts on the southern side just chilling. Okay, here's the Falconets and Jan's top side. Falcon's going to turn around. We pick off a Falcon. Does actually win the Falcon wall there. 1 apiece. Reuters here should be able to pick off the second one, but the Minutemen behind will pick off that Falconet. So all in all, actually a good engagement for Risotto. Getting melee mode in the Jan series. These Reuters will have to back off a little bit. These guys do have their cavalry combat though. Maybe looking to get into an arsenal range cavalry carousel. We do see the caracol. We do see the log flume being researched there for Sheckler. So upgraded wood. Advanced church here. That's going to be Stradiots and probably the extra banks. I don't think you need the speed on these Reuters versus mainly Jan spam. So extra 2 banks, that'd be very nice. And you can certainly buy the wood required for the banks a little bit. A little bit of trading here and there. Or is he just going to carry his Falconet production? It's going to be a close one. 28 Reuters, another 10 closing in. So the fact he's got 10 reinforcements make this possible. But there's the 8 Jan shipment behind. So actually, this is a fight I think Sheckler needs to back out of. Just a couple scums now. I know he's in the mindset of a pure Reuters should beat Otto, but actually in his numbers, the Jans do very, very well. He does have a couple of Falcons coming, but just one Falconet behind this. Stagecoach now being researched on the southern side here for Sheckler, sharing a train line 2-1. Yes, it is going to buff Sheckler, and over time, Sheckler will benefit from that tech, but Risotto's going to be enjoying that free Stagecoach as well. Might be a while before he realises it, but even still, the extra XP he gets from the Silk Road, so yeah, 60 experience points per pass is actually, yeah, pretty decent, while Sheckler is only on 48 experience points per pass. Yeah, 60 wood, 60 XP. These Silk Roads buffed income from train posts really add a tangible effect to the Ottoman eco, and the scores are even at this moment in time. 3 towns enters apiece, result up to 39 villagers, and you hear all the villagers being trained at once because somebody forgot their village upgrade. I'm hoping he's got his next tier upgrade as well, because he's soon approaching the 45 villager limits that represents. Jan's focusing down the Falconets, and he's Reuters just single-carded on the cav combat. No skirms, don't have any cavalry caracol. Is getting body blocked here by mass Jans. These guys now had their Jan combat as well. Jan's combat being shipped in, and yeah, it's just they're 300 HP each. Like, that's just too much. And I'm surprised Sheckler's still trying to take his trades to the Reuters, because he knows that these Reuters have the same range as the Janissaries. Like, if you have like ranged cavalry caracol, then you can kind of micro around and try and, you know, take these longer trades, but it's currently right now not really working in his favour. Back in base, do we have extra banks? We're still on the looks just the 5 banks here for the time being. Yeah, 5 banks behind us. Does have enough food and wood behind if he wants to drop down bank number 6 and 7. I think the 6th has just been dropped somewhere. There's bank 6, and usually when a player drops the 6th bank, they remember to drop the 7th there and then. Got to remember, there is the Bhakti temple for the berry gathering here, and the Udasi here. I think it's a kind of a economic theory shipment type tech. No Sufi mosque today in play on Deccan, which is one of those strongest civilizations for native techs. Yeah, there's bank 6 and 7. There's extra 8 villagers worth of coin income is very, very much appreciated, and kind of can prolong this coin mine just a little bit longer as a result, having more villagers on food to compensate. These guys still no steel traps, which, you know, at this moment in time when you've got 41 vills, you argue that steel traps is going to really pay off very quickly. It's such a strong upgrade, 20% on the hunt, and you do have a decent amount of hunt on the northern and the middle of the map. And if you push in with lots of skirms middle of the map, you do occupy that middle. Falconet's going to try and work. They're going to turn off. See the Jans. Reuters is going to focus down the Falconet there. Abus moving forward to try and focus down the Falconet. They do have negative multipliers versus the Falconet, but they do actually take a decent volley there from Reuters. Again, lack of counter infantry rifling skirmishes here is really hindering Sheckler's performance versus Janissaries. And I think the idea is that the skirms on the Janissaries force Ottoman to go into Abus guns and Hussars and cavalry archers, and that's when the Reuters really come out to shine. So you do need some skirmishes to force this kind of reaction from the Ottomans, so that you can go then full Reuters afterwards, but still no indication of barracks being dropped. Okay, there's an arsenal. The thing is, he's only got 1 production. You've got 2 stables, but nearly enough resources to think about going industrial, I guess, at some point, which is not a bad idea if you have the coin from the age 4 age up to go into mechanicalism. So that's then it's going to be factory wagon, 2 heavy cannons, and yeah, in 1v1, I've got to say, South Africa Revolt is very, very strong. And reason being is that actually there's no way in a 1v1 you realistically can get to Imperial unless you're that far ahead in the game, and you can just then have your kind of Industrial Age plus while your opponent's still in the Fortress or Industrial Age. Hey, 3 Falconets here. Going to get actually good exchange. They're focusing on the Abus guns first. That's a great play there from Sheckler, knowing what units he wants to take down. Ranged Cavalry Caracol coming in, so actually finally now can get outrange the Janissaries and actually take better trades. Extra 10% damage as well, so 20 attack, 14 range behind this is actually a really nice position for the Dutch to be in. And now, you know, Ottoman's thinking, right, I need now more Abus guns to actually get this damage to deal with the Reuters behind this. Could even actually arguably go for maybe is it the Bhakti Temple? Tide Claws for a bit of snare. Maybe Odassi for the Chakrams. I think Chakrams do... They say it's good against infantry and buildings. I think that says all infantry, not like skirmishers in particular. So maybe they won't have that light cavalry multiplier as well. So natives here not really helping the Ottomans in that situation. Another Falcon in queue, more Reuters. Very, very coin heavy. But like we said, with the 7 banks behind this, no bank wagon card in the first HA for Sheckler. It's a bit annoying. He's at 45 vills, so that bank wagon card would give him another bank and another 5 villager capacity. Would be very, very nice. Oh, he's sending 1k food. I kind of want Sheckler to hold on to this card. He could keep spamming H3, but I feel when you got this many units now, especially with the 5 Falks, that next age is looking rather tempting. I suppose actually that 1k should give him enough to go to that next stage. I do see Vet Hussar Cav Karas with the Cav Combat sent already for the Falconet play. Oh, Falconet's getting a volley on foundations. That is huge. 2k HP being lost already, and the 5 Falcons coming behind. Okay, Rizal is now looking to be in a very tough situation, especially the double Hussar batch coming behind this. Sheckler's at full housing population as well, just continuously spamming this wood gathering, over gathering wood by quite a margin. Rota's moving front to body block, but 5 Falcons going to turn on to pure... You can't engage 5 Falk armies, Risotto. Oh, this is going to be brutal. The Jans are working through the Reuters, but it's actually the Falcons doing damage. Abus are trying to right-click one Falcon at a time. It's behind this. It's just... yeah, 2 Falconets remain, but all the Abus guns have gone down. Those villagers were under pressure down there by that town centre as well. 59 villagers versus 48 from Sheckler, plus 7 banks. Still in favour of Sheckler for the economy for the time being. Could I say though, these villagers down here are a little bit exposed. They are going to hunt, and does Risotto see this? I'm not actually too sure he's been down this far down to the south. He sees a couple animals moving, but isn't consciously looking at. He's probably thinking, okay, I've got a lovely view at the top side. He's probably trying to be gathering on this northern side. All it needs is a couple more Hussars to ruin the day. Sheckler's still on double stable single artillery foundry. Oh, it's Dutch Hussars and Ottoman villagers. My apologies. That's a nice raid there from Sheckler. And the 5 Falconets behind this. He's just got so much resources, but not enough production behind it. Needs a 3rd stable, or maybe a couple scums to help out would be, you know, very appreciated versus Jans. But the 5 Falcons. Sheckler just hold. Is he just trying to hold the army in place? This is where the Hussars are used to hold, but where the Falcons they're coming. 3.6 speed because of the coffee trade. They move so slow. So brutal. The Hussars topside being annoying, forcing Minutemen about and getting another 2 Vil kills behind. Southern side, the Jans actually getting a good engagement here. The 5 Falcons are just arbitrarily moving mid-map on their own. They're quite exposed, but I don't think here Risotto can do to punish. But Sheckler's just going to back out those units for the time being. Another town centre coming down, but a lot of villagers here exposed. I think Risotto's getting a bit of a sniff of what's going on down here. Does see lots of villagers gathering, and yeah, those Falconets do need to cross the map very quickly. They need to unpack and get moving, because otherwise these vills are going down. They do have their great coats, but these are vet Jan combat. And there's a lot of vills here also needing to get away, and they are being pulled away, which is a good move there from Sheckler. Sheckler still in the lead position, but still is having to work for this position moving forward. Double racks in the middle map position. And now that these villagers have run away, I think he doesn't feel he needs to reinforce the position. And actually, now that he's actually secured the middle map portion of the map, I reckon we'll see a lot of vills moving to the hunting grounds of this middle plateau. And that's going to work very well for the Dutch players as the game moves forward. Another Hussar on the villagers. Do you see a 5 heat raid going into the base of Dutch player? Actually, will get so many vills. These Dutch villies on the forward wood line. But will Risotto even expect to see forward villagers? He's actually calling them back in to do the army. Big fight. Falconets engaged in Janissaries. Most of the Janissaries are going down. Veteran Reuters with their 14 range are doing pretty decent. Not too sure we've seen any skirms just come out just yet here from Sheckler. The infrastructure's down, but 5 Falconets. There's only so much Janissaries can do versus 5 Falconets. Bit of also building targeting here from the Falconets. Minutemen will go down, and population here 113 from the Dutch. Just the 89 here from Oswin. Spahis are running around trying to get the best, but I don't think they've actually seen any vills which were not over here. So he's missed opportunity for a huge raid, and Reuters are moving in to intercept the Spahis behind. It's been absolutely a great play so far. Villagers are running for the town centre. Will the Spahis get a hero raid here? There's possibilities, but he knows they've been chased by the Reuters. He's just trying to get out of the way. And villagers on the top side happily gathering wood, but yeah, the actual food here from Norton players starting to run really low. And I think he's actually hunted himself out of the food source himself. Does have 18 villagers, but they're all on berries down to the southern side. Does have berries in base as well, which he could transition some vills over. But Risotto calling the good game and is going to resign. And yeah, GG for his opponent. And I got to say, I think I was very impressed with Risotto's improvised build order. I think Silk Trade on this map is a very smart option with the extra train players income, and then all that XP provides you more and more shipments to send more and more shipment crates one after the other, even squeezing in the 700 food. Interesting play. He went, what was it? He went for 1,000 gold before 1,000 wood. I think the 1,000 wood could have got that 4th town centre nice and early. He could have gone a little bit more defensive on some of the town centres. I know those Hussars were putting real big pressure on this town centre down to the south. And it's one of those things, the faster you get the town centres built, the faster they produce villages, and that scaling effect as a result. So a town centre moving all the way up here is nice. But I suppose it doesn't really matter because it takes time. It takes time for the villagers to pop out and walk across here, but the whole town centre is delayed if the wagon's moving across. Doesn't really matter in that sense. But what does matter is we look at the post game and let's see how long Risotto was at 25 vills. It's long enough. Let's put if you draw a straight line with this 3 town centre production, by the time that tech was researched and then the first batch, he should have been at about 35 villages. I think he's lost 10 villages worth of production as a result. So between 10 minutes and 40 seconds, but so some of the town centres were stopped working at this moment in time anyway. So the remaining couple of town centres were finishing off their batches up to 26 villager population, so that's stopping at the 25. 1050, yeah, 1220, and some of these were teched villagers in terms of tech from the moss to train faster. So extra economy there for Risotto, possibly if the build is a little bit crisper. I think he could have got to the fortress stage a little bit quicker with the Philosopher's Prince as well. So then he could have done the extra chopping transition to the 3rd age to maybe get what he required for the town centres and outposts. 1k would first before coin would have helped. I do appreciate the need to try and get some Janissaries out on the board here from Risotto, because he did notice there were 5 Hussars running around. Oh yeah, it was real strong on the pepper. Comes with the back resources. Yeah, absolutely right. The thing is, with like a civ like Ottoman, I wouldn't feel that gathering berries is a bad thing, especially when you got 4k here. There's a lot of resources here, and to move across. Build a little bit delayed. We do have decent stagecoach. I'm surprised this was never stagecoached in the end. It could be up to 60 resources a bit, and that could be a mixture between food and coin. And after a while, shipments, you don't necessarily need to go through all of the shipments there. Spice trade in for berries. That's a very nice play there, but it's not being sent in, 0.67. But the thing is, at that moment in time, if you're having spice trade in later for the berries, you might as well just send the Eco Theory, because it's still 10% in the berries. I know the 20% berries does provide yield as well, which I suppose is actually a very sweet bonus there. But then you do buff your wood gatherers, your coin gatherers, your mills and your estates and so on as the game goes on. And actually, as the game goes on at this moment in time, could be considering mills as well. I suppose, if you got berries to be gathered, that's fair enough. That's where a cheeky little Bhakti temple. Oh, Bhakti temple there with the vegetarianism. 40%. Villagers gathering food faster than hunting dog hunters. No walking time as well. And lots of safe food in base. It's always tempting to get that. It's kind of worth it. It's cheap. 300 wood, 100 coin total. And maybe if that was tied in with the 1.25k wood crates, that could have given you time to get that nice and early before the Dutch Reuters spam, and then you had safely gathering villagers nice more on your defensive side. His options, its considerations. The spies get caught in the end. But we'll move on to game 2 at a later point. I will cut off now and we'll rejoin after football for me. I'll come back.